Alrighty, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 34 of Hit the Books, podcast all about sports betting, the best bets you should be taking, and everything surrounding sports. This week, we have the NHL moving the playoffs up a few days, some power rankings, and more this week. So let's jump into this week's episode. Introduce my co-hosts, Huff and Ace, this week. No Mackie. Mackie out with a sickness. Poor Mackie. But let's start out with you, Huff. What do you got for us here this week on the podcast?
Yeah, tough result for my Penguins towards the end of that regular season, not getting in as a Capitals clinched things up last night. I should have known the Flyers weren't going to get it done for their cross-state rival. They pulled a goalie, tied 1-1. They needed to win that game. I think it was in regulation, but you hate to see them score an even strength, empty net goal. Tough for the Penguins. Penguins 2 straight years out of the playoffs, not looking good for the boys in black and gold. But
last 2 years by 1 point.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's tough. Yeah, that stings. Yeah, tough result. Obviously, great Masters weekend. Scheffler brings it home, second time in 3 years there. Yeah, that was about all I did this weekend was watch golf and play golf. So
sounds like not too bad of a week there, Huff. But
yeah,
Ace, what do you got for us here? Home from work, having a little dinner. What do you got for us?
Yeah, not having dinner yet. I thought I was gonna have time for it. Not
Right.
so. Ripping some pretzels and Nutella right now. Not a bad deal at all. Big Nutella guy. Shout out Kobe Bean Bryant. Yeah, I believe he was a part of that, right, Huff?
I think he was. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
and
either
I'm
him.
also a massive.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, it's either him or Dwayne Wade. I think it was Kobe Bryant.
I think it's one of. I know exactly what you're talking about. They did the commercials for him.
No, they have a steak in Nutella, I believe, or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something like that. But no,
That's wild.
Yeah, great snack, podcast snack, free plug once again on the pod. Nutella, not a big deal. But my Bruins wearing the hat right now, representing, going back to the playoffs once again. We all knew this was coming, but we're gonna get a great matchup with them. Excited to talk about that when we get to the NHL. A lot of stuff going on. Had some great day baseball too. Love my day baseball. Today was a great slate. So gotta get some more picks out there in the world for you guys. But other than that, ready to get going another week here. A lot of great stuff coming up.
You are right. Lots of good stuff coming. Some dates to look forward to. The draft coming up here on the 25th. The NBA and NHL playoffs now starting on the same day here on Saturday, April 20th. I assume the NHL knew they were going to do this when they kept saying 22nd, 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 and then they realized, oh, well, that means every team would get 5+ days of rest. They're like, oh, we don't want that. So they decided to switch it to Saturday. If you guys weren't aware of that,
I'll take it for sure. I'm not complaining.
I'm trying to find the playoff schedule. It's not on ESPN yet. Like, it goes straight from like Thursday to May 1st, which is mad frustrating.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Huff. I'm looking at that too, but I think Jess is gonna have us
Saying it's
covered on
April
this slate.
20th.
what? Yeah, it's supposed to start on Saturday now.
Even the Score doesn't have shit posted.
I can't remember. My brother showed me it. Something.
I'm trying to figure out what days Nashville plays. We're gonna be in Nashville next week.
So it'll either be Saturday, Sunday.
No, they're on the road. They're not playing at home for the first two.
Well, no, that's good because
Right.
we don't get there till Friday.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
And
you'll see
then,
one.
Monday, Tuesday will be game 2, and then
Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'll see one either Friday night
Or
or
they'll
Saturday.
give it an
There could
extra,
be a day in
an
between.
extra day, and it could be a Friday, Sunday.
Yeah.
right. We will see. I'd love to go to one. Dan's gonna apparently be down there Huff at the same time.
You got to buy.
Really?
You got to buy a
He's
catfish.
thinking about it. He has plans to go, but he's not sure if he's actually going.
Tell him to do
it. I will.
You guys got to get some
Tell him to
catfish.
Tell him to
thrown on
ride
the
with
ice.
us.
He can ride with us.
Yeah, it's not like he has to get a flight.
Yeah, you just got to sit on the golf clubs.
Yeah, he makes our ride cheaper too.
How far is Nashville from Pittsburgh?
8 hours.
Oh, that's
But we're
stopping in Colombo.
Yeah, I mean it is basically on the way.
But yeah, we're stopping to pick up Addison.
Is he golfing?
Oh,
Yeah.
he's golfing.
Oh God.
I don't know what he looks like out there. Actually, I've only golfed with Addison one time other than a pitch and putt, and it was my first time ever golfing, so I wasn't judging anyone other than myself.
Yeah. Well, you just got to tell him when he goes up there to hit it. Go hippie. Go on, go.
No hippie.
We had this weird hockey coach from West Virginia.
Authentic
that was the
West
most
Virginia.
West Virginia guy. Yeah.
Only guy that benched me in my career at West Virginia University, like healthy scratched me for talking back to the coaches. Me and Addison, same game. Tough scene. We got
remember that.
We got stomped
We got
next game watching from the press box too, so it wasn't too bad.
We got the lineup that game, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, we're trying to lose today, right?"
Yeah.
Just throw this one in the
Hoff,
garbage
you got
can.
you
look
got you
right
got to
back.
go out there for that one for sure, right? Rookie Hoff.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. They were like, let's
Mop it
put
up,
him out there.
kid. You and Kevin Bott.
I'm like, oh, these kids love me. They just got scratched.
Yep. Wait a
And
bit.
now you guys are best friends. Alrighty, good stuff, boys. Jumping into the NHL here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but these are the confirmed playoff matchups here going into the first round. Rangers and Capitals, Hurricanes versus Islanders, Bruins versus the Maple Leafs, Panthers versus the Lightning, Stars versus the Golden Knights, Jets versus the Avalanche, Canucks versus the Preds, and the Oilers versus the Kings. What do you think, Ace?
Yeah, I mean, jumping right into it, we have some great matchups. And you want to know what's finally nice to see come to fruition? We complain about this playoff format all the time. I'm going to live and die by 1 versus 8, but it's doing what it was meant to do. You have the rivalries in the first round. You have Boston, Toronto. You have the Battle of Florida. Some good ones out west, too. Huff, I don't know about you, but this is one of the first times I've actually enjoyed the way the playoff format broke out.
I was gonna say, this is all like I think the only one that would have made it better is if
The
it
Isles
was
play the
Rangers Islanders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you can't blame them. They snuck in. That third spot in the wild card was so far off from the rest of the pack.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's all regional matchups. This is obviously what they wanted. You get the classic Bruins Maple Leafs matchup. Like you said, the Battle of Florida. The Eastern matchups are a lot better, in my opinion, than the Western ones. Now, granted, a lot of the Western teams are a lot more spread out, but obviously you don't have any of those staples in the NHL and the Western Conference that really were great teams this year. Like, I don't know. Like I always think when I think of the Blackhawks, St. Louis, there's just those teams that are like the older team. I mean, obviously you have Dallas
from California, though. Like it's
yeah,
not many.
I feel like we get Oilers Kings every year. That was a first round matchup last year. That's a rematch of last year.
It is, and it's going to be the same result out there. I mean, you're missing some of those the Manitoba battles. Battle of Alberta. That's what I'm talking about. But
that's Avalanche. That's going to be a great series.
Yeah, Jets. That's what I'm saying. I think I sent you guys a clip the other day. That whiteout at home, Winnipeg is one of the best places to play at home in the playoffs. It's going to be rocking with the Vezina Trophy winner too. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and Dallas with an all-time bad draw for the 1 seed in the West, getting Vegas for the first round.
Yeah, I mean that's going to go 7 games. I feel like off the rip.
That's not a true wild card 2 team.
No, but that's going to be a great series. The Dallas Stars are loaded. The Vegas Golden Knights are loaded. They scheme the system.
Yeah.
Let's see how they gel coming out of that, though.
I like all these series. The Canucks Predators. I think that's a good matchup for the Predators. That's a team I'm pulling for, definitely.
And I would like to watch the Canucks. I think that'd be a fun team to watch.
I still think they're going to get knocked out in the first round. But
I think this inexperienced Canucks team. This is a tough matchup for them.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be tough. They drew a good matchup, honestly.
We'll get
if
into
they played anybody else.
If Saros and I almost said Rossi, just combine his name, Roman Yossi, like if they can buckle down on defense, O'Reilly, like if they can play in these 3-2 games, that's what Vancouver does not like to do.
And you know what you're going to see too? They still have the goaltending woes. Thatcher Demko's out. I mean, guys like Philip Forsberg, he puts the puck in at will. When they were hot, he was getting going. Gustav Nyquist, that was a great addition too. They have a lot of guys up front that can get the job done.
He scored against my Penguins on Monday when we beat them, but I don't know. I've started to root for this team. I wanted to see them jump up to that 3 spot. What are they? The Central, but top of that Central is so loaded with Winnipeg, Dallas, and Colorado.
Yeah, those are the teams that are meant to be there. So what are you gonna do? But they backdoored their way into the playoffs. UC Saros was looked at as one of the best goaltenders in the NHL. Kind of fallen off from that, but like really showing why.
Is there series prices on this stuff yet?
Oh, definitely,
Jesse.
That's a good question. Let me look. Huff, I'm looking. Ticket prices are very manageable for Nashville.
Really? I have the series prices pulled up.
Oh, Huff, this is actually a big thing. Thatcher Demko played his first game the other day, stopped 39 of 40 shots in a win, and he's ready to go for the playoffs. Does that change your view of the Canucks at all?
It does. It definitely makes it harder. But like I don't know. I'm definitely just like fanboy rooting over I want Nashville to do good because I'm gonna go there. So I'm like, last year I went to Vegas when they were in the first round. So I'm gonna hope I can get a nice, little hot future. Maybe something on Nashville. I don't think they'll go far, but maybe to win the series or something just to root for. But I do have these series prices pulled up. So here, give me a second. I think these are the series prices. Playoff series, yeah.
I'm looking at that too. It looks like just the first game though.
That doesn't look like first game odds to me, in my opinion, is it? Yeah, that is first. I don't know.
They are kind of crazy.
Yeah, because none of them are set at. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Playoff props. Ace, do you have any series prices listed?
I'm looking at them right now. No. Let me just. I'll go on the good old Twitterverse. That's where I like to go.
Yeah. I just have Eastern and Western Conference winners. I mean, we can get into that stuff if we want to, and then obviously cup picks. But like,
I want to go
I
through
like
these series
the
one
first
by
round.
one.
The first round is my favorite round of the cup playoffs, just because it's absolute mayhem.
Yeah, me too. I think there's going to be a lot of 7-game series. I kind of want to dive into each of these series a little bit, talk a bit about it, give our preview on it. I think we start in the West.
So
We usually start in the
let's
East.
just do that because I can't find odds on it. I'll check on like MGM and ESPN and DraftKings while you're talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we'll start out West. We'll go with one of those 1-seed matchups. We'll go with the Canucks and the Predators one. You're going to be a little bandwagon Predators fan going down to Nashville, but the Canucks have really had that great season, right? They had it all come together. Me and Mackie, I don't know about you guys, haven't believed in them too much. They put up all these high stats. Let's see how it translates to the playoffs. Whole new game, a lot of young, skilled guys on that Canucks roster. Taking on a Predators team that isn't as talented. That's one thing that's massive here. There's a big talent gap. I do think they have the better goaltender in Saros, but Demko coming back is going to make it challenging. Expect to see a lot of low-scoring games here. If the Canucks can start putting goals up, they run away with the series in maybe 4 or 5 games. But yeah, I think it's going to be a tough spot to go to as well for Nashville. I mean, going up to Vancouver, that's a pretty far hike. I know Nashville's pretty rowdy in the playoffs. We saw them get to the Cup when they lost to the Penguins last time they were there. It's a tough place to play when that building's rocking, but we'll have to see how much they buy in. I got the Canucks. I hate to say it. I wanted them to lose in the first round. If they played anybody else, if they dropped out of that top spot, they would have lost in the first round. But
Yeah,
they had it on lock. I think they might even win this one. I'm going to say 4-2, and that's respectable. 4-2, respect to Nashville because of UC Saros.
I'm trying to find series prices. I found it for some of the series on MGM. Jesse, do you have the ESPN or DraftKings you could check? I found some of them on
If
MGM.
I'm seeing on other sites the same exact stuff for the whole series.
So you think that is a series price?
Yes. It's just in a weird format.
Well, like I see one right here: Bruins minus 120 to win the series, Maple Leafs plus 100.
That's true, though. I saw that. That's a true stat.
And what's it say on FanDuel, Jesse?
Say it again, minus 120?
Bruins minus 120 series winner.
Yeah.
That is it?
That's what it is. Oh, okay. So when you click on it, it says Boston Bruins series winner.
Okay. So it is that same thing on FanDuel. But Ace, to go back to this series, I'm gonna go with Nashville in 7 games, or maybe even 6. I think they could win this if they have a position to go back to Nashville for Game 6. With the series lead 3-2, I just think the inexperience, this young Canucks team, like I said before we started, I think if Saros and Yossi and O'Reilly, this defensive style team that they play, if they can keep it a 3-2, even a 3-1 kind of hockey game, I think that favors into Nashville. Obviously, like you said, Demko coming back, it's going to be harder for Nashville to get on the board, but definitely a tough place to play up there in Vancouver, not close at all to Nashville. So that's definitely, I feel like, the most geographically spread out first round series. So that's going to be an interesting one there for the road matchups. But I like Nashville's chances to win game 1 or 2, go back to Nashville, possibly win another one. They're going to have to win game 5. A lot of the first round series come down to who wins game 5, whether you're up 3-2 or 3-1 or 2-2. The winners of Game 5 is huge, and obviously Game 5 is going to be in Vancouver if it gets there. I'm going to go with Nashville to win the series in 7 games, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them take it home on ice in Bridgestone in Game 6.
Yeah, I mean, you bring up some good points there. You know what's crazy is all year long, if you've listened to our podcast, you've heard me say the Vancouver.
We've all doubted the Vancouver
and I
Canucks,
said the
too.
Canucks are going to lose in the first round. They'll get exposed for who they truly are. I've been riding that tune all year. What you just said literally plays right into it. But I think this is such a great matchup for them. Demko coming back, massive too. I think if they get it done, Nashville, it's going to have to be in 7 games. You said you like them to win Game 1. I think in Vancouver.
Game 1 or 2. I think they'll win 1 in Vancouver.
Canucks definitely, I think, take that first game. I'm going to love that. They're going to be heavy favorites too. I think they're able to put up a lot of goals, but I think it tightens up once it gets to game 2 and 3. Even if they go down 2-0, I think game 3 in Nashville they grab. Saros is going to have to stand on his head. And you were saying 3-2, 3-1. I think even less. He's going to have to post some zeros for them to win this series, even in 7 games. I like Forsberg to be able to get some points. And like I said, Nyquist as well. You brought up Yossi. He's a really good player. He's been going into his own. Ryan O'Reilly, that's a playoff guy you want on your team, centering that top line of Forsberg and Nyquist.
Been there, done that kind of guy. He, especially for a young locker room, he's huge.
He's a Selke candidate, defensive
Yeah.
beast, power play, net front presence, and he wins faceoffs. Those are all the qualities I look for in one of my leaders in the playoffs. Their depth, I don't have too much faith in. That's why I think they're going to lose. They have Luca Evangelista, former top pick on a third line. But other than that, it's a bunch of no-name guys. Roman Josi and Ryan McDonough up top, and then same thing, weak depth on defensive end too. It's going to have to be a strong Saros series. That top line is going to have to show up, but I don't see it getting done. I think that the Canucks easily deal with them. But if they drop the first one, then who knows? But I think they've got that one unlocked. This will be one of the lighter series, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, we'll go to the Colorado Avalanche going up against, like we said, the Winnipeg Jets in that Central Division matchup. Jets are a plus 115 underdog to win this series, with the Avalanche at minus 132. I'm gonna lean on the experience with this Avalanche team. I love McKinnon. I love they're able to score goals. It's gonna be really hard. This is a 7-game series for sure. It's going to be tough to win it in Winnipeg, but give me the Avalanche to squeak this out and eliminate Winnipeg.
Yeah, this is such a crazy series. This is one of the toughest matchups. I don't know which team you are more afraid of. Are the Avalanche more afraid to see the Jets, or the Jets more afraid to see the Avalanche? And I think with Connor Hellebuck, the Avs are kind of holding their breath, hoping they got someone else in this round.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know. I just when their power play, I don't know, when they're especially playing at home, like I think this is a series where you could see if the Avalanche win games 1 or 2, that's huge because they're so good on their home ice, especially in the playoffs. You look at the last 3 years, whenever they've made it, how good they do over there in Denver. I think this is the Avs series. A minus 138, I think that's a very good line because I think you'll be sweating that out till Game 7.
Yeah, I honestly, it's crazy. If I have to make a pick, I'm going to go with the Avs. Hurts me to say because I'm high on these Jets. I do think it goes 6 or 7. Like you said, going to be a deep series. You know where they're going to get exposed is in their back end. Behind Josh Morrissey, not too many strong defensemen, in my opinion. I think McKinnon in that strong depth of forwards have their way with them. McKinnon had a career year. You know he's going to be snapping out. I do like what the Jets have up front, though. They're deep team. They added Toffoli and Monahan at the deadline. They have Iafallo on the fourth line. Niederreiter out there. Kyle Connor is one of the best forwards in the league. I mean, they have a deep, deep roster. It's not going to be an easy out for sure, but Nathan McKinnon is going to have to continue his excellence. I think he earned the Hart Trophy this year. I don't know about you, over Nikita Kucherov. But the stuff they put around him, Mikko Rantanen, great player. They added Middlestat in the middle of the year. Miles Wood, they added in the offseason. Zach Parise, what a find in the middle of the season for no money. You have him on your third line. And then we know what Cale Makar does on the back end. Their defense is going to have to step up as well. I am not a believer in their goaltending options at all. I'm not a huge Georgiev guy. Mackey would be all over him. I feel like Mackey would be on the Jets too, but maybe not. We're both afraid of these Avalanche, saying they were the top team in the West. But this is going to be a great series once again. I think it's the Nathan McKinnon factor here. I got to go with the Avs, but it's going to be a tough one to knock out the Vezina winner of the season.
Yeah. Oilers Kings. I don't have a series price. Where do you go on this one?
Oilers, easy. That could be in 4 or 5.
I think so too. I think this is one of the ones where I'd actually pick. I'm going to say the Oilers sweep them.
Yeah, and like the Kings haven't even been playing great hockey down the stretch. They let the Blues stay in the hunt much longer than they should have. They have goaltending issues. You don't know who's going to.
Oilers love losing one game. Though 4-1.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what's tough though. Whenever you talk about these Oilers, you always notice their big weakness. They can't stop pucks. Their goaltending's been weak. I know Stuart Skinner's turned on in the second half ever since that big win streak, but he's going to have to play at least average for them to have a good round here. But I think they're going to put up a lot of points here. McDavid's doing his thing, and Draisaitl. How are you going to stop that? They don't have anything to match it. But
yeah,
I think the Kings are still a few years away. But kudos to them for making the playoffs, last seed in. But I don't think they're talented enough to stick with McDavid in this group.
yeah. And then obviously we have Dallas, Vegas. I lean to. I think here's what I think. I think it's gonna be a great series. I think it's a really tough matchup. A team that Dallas doesn't want to see here. I love this Vegas team. I think Dallas is legit. I think it comes down to the differences is Ottinger and net, how good this Dallas team has been playing all year. And I just think the guys they're bringing back in this first round for Vegas, if it gels at first, they very well could win this series. I think it's going to be about a step or two behind, and I think Dallas wins game 1 or possibly game 2 as well. It's going to be hard to come back. But playing in Vegas, people say, all the players said it's the hardest place to play, but I like Dallas to win this series in 7.
Yeah, you'd think this one definitely goes deeper. We were saying it before. Two teams here, not a true wild card in the Vegas Golden Knights. Or not wild card, not a true lower seed, I guess you should say. But yeah, what's crazy to me is remember last year that whole run. Yeah, they're a stacked team. That defense is loaded. They have the guys up front. Eden Hill played out of his mind, and honestly, and I don't know if he's going to go on that type of run again. I know that they've only missed a few pieces, like Stone coming back to the lineup. They got Hurdle in there. They got Petrangelo back. They had Eichel out there, so they saw a lot of it. I think they're going to be gelled and ready to go. But I think the speed of the Dallas Stars and the depth, this team's going to be hungry. If history repeats itself, I should learn that the Dallas Stars don't win these 7-game series. They always get knocked out in the last one.
Yeah.
But they have the better goaltender on paper. Um, and I think that Joe Pavelski, Jamie Benn, this group is hungry. They get out of the first round usually. Usually you wouldn't see the Golden Knights till later. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Get them out of the way now. And then you're battle tested and proven. I like them in 7. This is going to be a great series as well. I think the youth movement that Dallas has, they have the younger legs. Been playing together all year long, like you said. Give me the Stars here. Not my favorite pick. I think they get it done.
We'll head out to the East. I do have more series prices. I do have, I think, every series price for the East. Islanders, Hurricanes. Hurricanes, obviously the top seed. They have home ice in the series. Minus 350 to win this series. Islanders plus 275. Which way do you lean here? Do the Islanders have a chance? You've been big on these Islanders.
No,
I
they
don't think
don't.
they have a chance either.
You know what's crazy? I wish they got that wild card 2 seed. And Mackey's not here to defend his Rangers, but they would have had a much better chance in the series
Yeah.
against them. But it's the first round Carolina Hurricanes. First round, even second round. They're really good.
They're world beaters in the first round.
Yeah, and they're just too talented of a team, too big of a team, too skilled. Frederick Anderson's back. I don't know what the Islanders are going to do. They're going to try and play that low-scoring hockey, try and shut out the other team, like shut down their offense with Sorokin in net too. I know he's one of the top goalies. I've been beating his drum. They're playing good, well coached, yada yada. This is not the matchup you wanted if you're the New York Islanders. That's why I don't think I've heard anything from Islanders fans. Haven't seen anything Islanders related. It's because you're running into the buzzsaw that is the Carolina Hurricanes, which is a loaded roster.
Did you see the stat? Jake Gensel scored the most points for any player traded at the deadline.
Yeah, I believe that. And
it was like 22 points in 15 games. People were like, and it was like the SpongeBob writing where they do all the different capital letters and lowercase letters, and it was like, but he needs Sidney Crosby.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, look at the line he's playing on. He honestly, even though Sidney Crosby's great to play with, who's the third guy on that line? A nobody. He's playing with two.
Russ.
Yeah, he's playing with 2 great players. That whole team is just stacked. They have Kuznetsov on their 4th line. I mean, their defense too. The fact that they have their goalie back in the mix. Rob Brendan was not getting knocked out in the first round. They've been here way too many times. Islanders, great job in getting here. You did too good though. You wanted that wild card 2 spot, I think. So you got a little bit of rivalry, a bit more going into it. We saw the series. We've seen this series before, though, Huff. How many times have we seen Isles and Canes? The Canes only win at home. Would you be surprised if this goes 7 and they win all 4 at home and lose all 3 in New York?
I would be shocked if this series goes 7 games. I have the Hurricanes winning the series in 5.
I do too.
I think Sorokin will have a game where he only lets up 1 or 2, and the Canes get stymied, and the Islanders win in overtime. But I have the Canes winning the series in 5 games.
Yeah, I agree with you. And like, the only reason I say that is because that's what the bunch of jerks did a few years ago. Remember, it went 7 with the Isles.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "What? How is this happening?" But they're even better than they are now. They were then. They have Anderson healthy. You're right. I've got him in 5 as well. Maybe even 4. This could be one of my soul sweeps.
This could be a sweep, but like you said, they love to win the home games. I could see them drop one in New York, come back to Game 5 with a 3-1 lead, and they're not losing that game.
What's a more likely sweep? The Oilers over the Kings or the Canes over the Isles?
I think the Oilers over the Kings, just because the Islanders are way more hot of a team and they have a way better goalie that could steal a game.
Just because of the gameplay style and Sorokin. I'm there with
like Sorokin could, and the Islanders could truly just steal a game. Like, they have a defensive game plan. They do it to every team.
Yeah,
like,
they score on the power play. They win 2-0.
And they make you play their style of hockey. They don't play anyone else's style.
I don't know if they're going to be able to do that though against the Hurricanes. That's the thing.
It's going to be interesting because the Hurricanes are the exact opposite. They're like, we want to score 7 goals a game.
We're big and we're fast and we're skilled.
The Hurricanes either cover every game or lose.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a lot of lopsided scores in this one. I think we can take the puck line with the Canes at least. If you take the puck line every game for the Canes, I think it'll be profitable.
I think you'd be profitable. Yeah.
Alrighty, boys. Good stuff. Let's jump in this next series here. Rangers and Capitals. The Rangers here's the favorite, minus 375 for the series. Capitals at a plus 290. The series total, they're all 5.5. Okay. They're all sitting at 5.5 there. What are you guys thinking going into this Metropolitan series that knocked the Pens out?
Ace, do you think the Penguins would be this big of underdogs in this series?
No, they'd be a little bit lower.
A little lower. They'd be like 250.
Yeah, not much though because their goaltending is very weak. I think Lindgren's
Yeah.
better than what they got, but
But yeah, I don't enough about the Penguins. I just was curious what you thought about
yeah, no, the Penguins. I mean, they would have given a better series than the Capitals are going to. I think this actually. Now that I'm going to rethink it, I think this is probably the second most likely sweep. Is this series? I don't like anything. There's how does a team with a minus 37 goal differential get into the playoffs, and how are they going to beat the best team in the NHL in the regular season?
that. You don't think they could
President's
still
Trophy
won?
curse. President's Trophy curse. Is that the only hope here for the Capitals?
Yeah, I like them to win one. Just because like kind of the same way I like the Islanders. I think they win one at home, maybe in overtime. I mean, 2 years ago, this Rangers team in the first round let my Penguins take it to a 7-game series, and we were a pretty similar underdog in this
Yeah.
position. Like the Rangers love going to 7 games. They're like Toronto in the first round. They really are.
Yeah,
But they win Game 7.
yeah, but the thing is, I think the Rangers are going to be able to dispose of this
Yeah,
team
no,
pretty
I
easily.
don't think this goes. I think this Rangers win the series in 5.
Yeah, I think Shesterkin's going to have a very big game. There are some game breakers. Like I know there's Ovechkin and Oshie there. I like McMichael on the Capitals. He's been stepping up. Dylan Strome also playing good hockey. John Carlson, he's going to play like almost 30 minutes a night for the Capitals in the playoffs here. Well,
That environment in DC too is electric in the
yeah,
playoffs.
when
I
they
think they'll
rock
win
the
one home
red.
game.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rangers sweep here. Shout out Mackey. Team's too good. The depth, the skill, the defensive prowess. I mean, Fox and Truba. What are they really realistically going to do? Their power play is not even that good. Whole team in general. I know they have guys like Tom Wilson. They have some playoff players: John Wilson, John Carlson, Dylan
Guys that
Strome,
have won cups. Yeah.
Alexander Ovechkin, TJ Oshie. The list goes on and on and on. But Lindgren, unproven. I don't think he goes on a Holtby-esque run because he'd have to do even more than that because his team's not that good. Where's the depth on this Washington Capitals team? Yeah, the Rangers, they won the President's Trophy for a reason. I don't think the President's Trophy catches up to them. The curse catches up to them in the first round. Maybe it does in the second round. I like them, the Canes in the second round over the Rangers. I can't wait for that series. I think that's a lock. Maybe if you parlay these series odds, they're probably pretty heavy favorites. But Canes and Rangers, I like them both to get out of this first round pretty easily. I don't know which ones.
We should all make brackets for this, like me and Mackie did for March Madness, and post it on the.
Yeah, we should do a bracket
Okay.
challenge. Come on now.
Can you do that? For
Yeah, the
hockey?
NHL Stanley Cup bracket challenge.
Set it up. Will you set it up if you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I probably can. We can do it on NHL.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there a way for like us to be in a group?
Yeah, and we can, and our followers, if you listen to the pod, we'll shout out that link too. You can get in. We can get everybody on this one. It'll be a pretty cool one. Maybe we'll get a little prize in there too.
Yeah.
Free plug.
Especially if we have till like Saturday to do it. We have a couple days to like get people to do it too.
Yeah,
Right.
I can work on setting
like
it
that.
up. Well, tonight's the last regular season game, right?
Yeah. No, tomorrow. There's games tomorrow.
Well, okay.
Every team that plays on Thursday is like not in the playoffs, I swear.
Of course.
It's like Coyotes versus Sharks, Flyers versus someone. Let me see. Kraken Wild, Canucks Jets. Okay, they're in the playoffs. Sharks Flames, Oilers Avs, another playoff matchup. And then Ducks, Vegas, Chicago, LA. You got to think all those playoff teams are resting guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, jump into this the Atlantic Division, the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Boston is the slight favorite here, minus 120 there for the series, plus 100 for those Maple Leafs, and that total again 5.5 games. What are you guys thinking, Ace? Your Bruins, they gonna be able to take down the Maple Leafs in a good fashion?
I mean, that's classic. That's vintage Bruins hockey if you've ever seen it. They'll go 7 games, and then the Bruins will get it out of there in the end, and it'll be one of the best things you see. Boston on top, the sad Leafs fans outside the stadium. But let me go back a little bit towards how I would have liked to approach the playoffs. You should have heard everybody relieved that we're getting the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round, happy that we're going into the playoffs on a losing streak. Everybody around us they've been saying that for weeks, even when it was supposed to be the Lightning the whole time. They were like, I just wish it was the Leaf, wish the Leafs. I was like, give me the Lightning. I don't care who it is. I want to go into the playoffs playing good hockey. I want to be winning going into the playoffs.
That's why I would have felt good about the Penguins, because we were on this little streak. I'm like, that's fine. It's just we've been playing playoff games for a month. It's like your Celtics, similar in the NBA. It's like they were dropping games. It's like
doesn't even matter there.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
ours
NBA is so
shift us
different,
though.
but you know what I mean.
The
Just making
Bruins, the Bruins were sitting at the top of the Atlantic for so long. Panthers, they were there for a bit, but the Bruins have had it back for a while. And now we get the matchups everybody wanted, though. Everybody did want these matchups. And honestly, I do think the Leafs are a weaker team, which is crazy to say. As an outside fan, as a regular season viewer, you would think, oh, the Maple Leafs, they have Austin Matthews putting up 70 goals. The thing is, they have weaknesses. They have no goaltending back there. It's Ilya Samsonov and Joseph Wall, not scared of either option. Their defensive prowess, not very strong. Their superstars don't even play good defense. Guys like Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews, if we put them on the power play, if we give up those prime looks, they'll put the puck in the net. But if we're able to play 5-on-5 hockey, we should be able to dominate them with the size and skill. But this one's going to go 7, like I said. It's a vintage series here. I'm going to lean on the Bruins goaltending. They might be able to get it done in 6, I think. Having the home ice advantage is massive. Game 1 is going to be rocky in the TD Garden. I think that guys like David Pastrnak, he's got to be smarter with the puck here on the power play. Same with Marchand. They've been kind of loose with their turnovers at the top of the zone. But our defensive core, you have McAvoy leading the way, a young Drew Doughty, in my opinion. Brandon Carlo, he's got some size. Lindholm, Shattenkirk. I hope they bring up the kid Lowry, give him some looks over Grzelcyk or Andrew Peak. But it'll be fun to watch. Our depth is going to be there. Charlie Coyle matches up with any center you want to put him to cover. And I think the Bruins have better depth here. I like them to get the job done. In 6, maybe 7, though. Just history tells me it's going to be 7. Going to be a great series. Got to bet this game by game, though, I'd say.
I actually really like the Bruins to win this series. I think this is a favorable matchup for them. Like, I mean, you look at how the Maple Leafs want to win games. It's kind of similar to Carolina. They want to put their foot on the gas, put 4 or 5 on the board, and hope that the other team can even score 3, and they're still going to win the game. Like, they don't need that elite goalie because they have the offensive ability. But I think the style of hockey the Bruins play, I think the Bruins could win this series in 6 games. That's where I'm going to go. Kind of like you said, the sad Leafs fans, I think it would be even better if you guys won it in Toronto. Then you get to see 18,000 of them.
Leave early.
Yeah. You get to see 18,000. No, like if perfect scenario would be like overtime in Game 6 in Toronto, that'd be perfect. But like Pastrnak one timer on a power play.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah, see you go.
Yeah. But no, this is going to be a good one. They're having a career year up there in Toronto, but they still have the same deficiencies. It's crazy.
I think it's so similar to like you said, the Bruins haven't been playing good hockey. Neither the Maple Leafs. They're coming into this playoffs. I know they played tonight against Tampa, but like, what are they? 0-3 in their last 3. 0-3 and 1, 2-3 in their last 3, 3-3. Like they're on an 0-3 stretch. You don't want to be going into the playoffs if they lose tonight. In Toronto or in Tampa. Not that this game really matters, but I don't know. I think you guys will stomp them in games 1 and 2, and then it's going to be, can they defend home ice?
What's going to be fun to watch though is the Bruins goaltending situation. I think they're going to go every other game here in the playoffs. I would at least.
That'll be interesting,
right? Like if you're the coach right now, Hoff, no thought process. We saw what happened with Olmark last year. He got hurt in game 5. And they put in Swayman in 7. We've been going every other all year long, and they've been great.
Who would get it game 1?
Olmark, because he's the veteran, I guess, right?
Yeah.
He's been playing better hockey down the stretch, but Swayman was the all-star. Swayman's the top-ranked goalie in all of the rankings.
Whoever gets the first game would get game 7 if it goes to 7.
I feel like
if you're doing every other.
Yeah, but I feel like if it went to a game 7, you could. But why would you?
You got to go with the hot hand.
Yeah, but I'm eager to see. I want to hear some Jim Montgomery press conferences as we get a little bit closer. I hope they go every other, though. I feel like that'd be awesome to see. And they've deserved it. Look at what they've done all season long. Why would you not?
They'd be rested. That would definitely, especially through the first round. Like, maybe that's not something you can do in a deeper run just because you hope one of these guys gets a hot hand.
They've done it all year long, though.
I know, yeah.
And last year it didn't work when they switched. They switched it last year in the playoffs, though. It didn't work.
I feel like if anything, it'll work better in the playoffs because
you're fresh.
You're playing the same team for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and it's like they might figure out a goalie like, oh, shoot low blocker. He doesn't like low blocker. It's like, oh well, fuck, Swayman's playing tonight. You know what I mean?
Swayman on the breakaway, Olmark on the desperation. Like they're two. Yeah. It's crazy. Is they're two different style of goaltenders too. Swayman, that classic.
That's what I mean. It's not like they're two of the same. Like
no.
Two. Yeah.
One's like Tim Thomas. One's like Carey Price. So it'll be fun to watch. This is going to be probably the most entertaining series. If you watch it, the Bruins swept them in the regular season series 3-0, and it was pretty chippy at the end of the last one. Ton of fights. You got Revo and Maroon in the lineup for both teams. We're going to see some good tilt in this one. It's going to be animated.
Alrighty, boys. Love that stuff. Let's jump down to the Battle of Florida here. The Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Florida Panthers are the favorite in this series, minus 176 there, plus 146 for those Tampa Bay Lightning. What are you guys thinking here for the Battle of Florida? This one will start out in
Sunrise.
Yeah, near Miami.
Yeah,
Fort Lauderdale.
over in Sunrise, great stadium. Been there a few times. I've seen this Battle of Florida before in person, and I'll tell you what, Huff, this is the most terrible outcome the Florida Panthers could have gotten is the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round.
Yeah,
And like,
I agree.
there's nobody else. I think if they go into the first round, they play any of the wild card teams. They play the Leafs. It's an easy series because this team's built for a Stanley Cup. But now we have the Tampa Bay Lightning, the big brother, the team that's been little brother in them their whole time. They have all of their hardware. They have that goalie in the net named Andrei Vasilevsky, Victor Hedman on the point. Stammer's still there, hasn't left yet. That's this summer. Nikita Kucherov, career season. Braden Point, they're healthy. They're playing good hockey coming into the playoffs. I believe the last few months they've been playing very solid. They locked in that spot. Remember when they were in contention for being a bubble team? It was like, no, wait, they're the Tampa Bay Lightning. We're locking it in.
They'll figure it out.
They locked it in with everybody else. I think this one is going to go 6 or 7. I'm going to take the Lightning to upset the Panthers. I think that's a very unfavorite pick. People love what Matthew Tkachuk is doing. Sergei Bobrovsky, that team's loaded. They had that career year by Sam Reinhart, right? I mean, all those goals, and I don't know. I got the Lightning, though. Victor Hedman, Steven Stamkos, too loaded. The same old guys. The depth isn't there, but the top-end talent is. Vasilevsky's going to show you why he's one of the best in the NHL.
I'm on the Panthers here. I like the Panthers to squeak this thing out. I think this is another one. It goes 7 games, 6-7 games. I think the home ice will come down to be huge for the Panthers in Game 7 if it gets there. I just like their offensive ability. I like
they're stacked. They're stacked.
Yeah, they're. I can't go against that young team. Definitely a veteran team in the Lightning that have done it before and done it several times, and we've seen it. Vasilevsky can steal a series, but I got to go with these Panthers, and that with no horse in the race, I got to claim them. I just last year with the Steelers going out, I root for the Dolphins, so I just root for all the teams down there that I go to games at. So
they're fun to watch, and they should be able to win this round. They brought in Tarasenko to go along too. They have Verhaeghe. That lineup's deep. That offensive lineup has depth throughout the whole thing.
I wanted them to get Gensel so bad,
but they brought in Tarasenko. That's not a bad ad.
Yeah.
Considering what they already have, they have one of the most talented rosters at defensive core. Aaron Ekblad's back for the playoffs. But I think this is the last opportunity for the Stamkos, Kucherov, Hedman, and Vasilevsky Tampa Bay Lightning to make some noise. I think they're going to do it by beating the Florida Panthers. I think it goes 6 or 7, like you said. I said there's going to be some good tilts and fights in that Boston-Toronto series. Oh, there's going to be a lot in this series as well. Anthony Duclair, he used to be on those Florida Panthers. Now he's back on those Tampa Bay Lightning as well. It's going to be a great series here. I think the power play is going to be lethal, and Vasilevsky is going to be the difference. I don't think Bobrovsky has that same success. I know he had a good year this year, but last year he had a poor year. He didn't even start the playoffs. You remember that? It was Alex Lyon. He came in and they went on that run. He's going to have high success against a very talented team, a well-coached team. John Cooper's going to have him ready. That's who it is down there, right? John Cooper. I like the Lightning. 6 or 7 games here. Big playoff series by Stammer and Cooch.
For good reason, definitely for good.
This could be the most skilled series there is in the first round. That top end skill, crazy.
But yeah, some good matchups, definitely. I can't wait for this.
Oh, I'm hyped.
Lots of good stuff for the NHL playoffs here, starting on Saturday, April 20th. Lots to look forward to as we get closer to that date. Last thing, or one of the last things here in the NHL for us, Connor McDavid reached his 100th assist of the NHL season. You guys alluded to this, becoming the first player to surpass 100 assists since 1991. McDavid joins Bobby Orr, Wayne Gretzky, and Mario Lemieux as the 4 players to only ever surpass 100 assists. Any thoughts on this here? McDavid, just a great accolade. What do you think?
Is Kucherov playing tonight? Because he can do it too.
Yeah, I wonder if he is. Let me check that. I feel like he's going to play because of that. But McDavid did it in a down year. This is a down year for McDavid.
Well, he did also say, "I'm done shooting. I'm just."
Yeah, I remember that, and maybe he just went.
But I don't know. I do. It's obviously crazy. I was surprised to see the last time it was done was 1991. That's crazy. It was definitely probably Lemieux because that was the year the Penguins won the cup. But crazy number. What's even crazier is if Kucherov does it tonight.
He's
And
playing tonight. Him,
all
Braden
right,
Point, and Duclair on that top line.
he's not gonna shoot a single puck tonight, dude. He's just gonna keep dishing to Point and Stamkos. It's gonna be so funny.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy?
And
though?
he's usually Mr. I want to score. I guarantee he's trying to get an assist tonight.
Yeah, no, he's got so many. He's gonna easily do it. And but like you said, that McDavid stat's crazy. What's crazy to me is how many guys, say even like 10 years ago, I think it was like the 2015 Hart Trophy, or the guy with the most points. Not the Hart. The Hart's the MVP. Was it the
Art Ross.
Yeah, the Art Ross. The highest point total was like less than 100 10 years ago, something like that. There would have been like
Dude, there was a year.
20
There was a year
guys.
Jamie Benn.
Yeah, that's
Jamie
the one I'm
Benn won
talking
it with
about.
like
That's
87 points.
what I'm saying. There's 20, 30 guys that have more points than that this year.
There's guys that have more assists than that this year.
Yeah, that's nuts. So the league's just evolving. The skill's going up. Goaltending not as strong as it once was. I know skill and offense is favored in every league now, but
I
goaltending.
mean, you used to look around the league. Every team had a legit goalie. Like Mackey's Rangers had Lundqvist. You guys had Tim Thomas and the Tuukka Rask. We had Fleury, and then Murray caught fire for us. Like all these
Jonathan
teams,
Quick,
like
Luongo.
like Corey Crawford for the Blackhawks. Like Brian Miller, even back a little
Yeah, he was
further.
a
Like
dog. Cam
Carey Price.
Ward, Carey
Like
Price.
dude, there was a lot more good goalies back then. I feel like.
Yeah, they're all really young right now too, but also the skill has gone up, and there's less hitting and physicality in defense. That's why playoff hockey is so different. You see that true brand of hockey, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
that's the best part.
so excited for it, but you can really pad those stats in the regular season, especially you look at power play points. These guys are putting up buckets. So
Yeah.
cool to see though. McDavid, such a dog. Another just accolade notch to his belt.
Another accolade that, in my opinion, looks way better if you have a Stanley Cup ring.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you had 100 points, but it's like, do you get the ring that year? Like, if he gets the ring and that is pretty sick.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, McDavid.
Lots of good stuff there. Let's jump into our power rankings here for the NHL for this week. Coming in at number 5, we have the Winnipeg Jets, followed by number 4, Aces Boston Bruins, number 3, the Dallas Stars, number 2, the Carolina Hurricanes, and number 1, Mackey's New York Rangers. Any thoughts on this before we jump out of the NHL?
I mean, those are you could put any of these top teams over there. I feel like the Panthers got to jump up a little bit, taking the Atlantic from the Bruins. Bruins dropped down. Other than that, I mean, you give any more respect to those teams out west? Probably a little bit. Dallas Stars, they're high.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado, you could make a case for them, but I mean, for all the reasons we said, the Rangers are definitely, the President's Trophy winner, the unanimous one. I think the Carolina Hurricanes, if not right there with the Rangers, if not possibly, I think they're an even scarier team to have to play in the playoffs.
Hurricanes too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is the Hurricanes. I think they're a scarier team than the Rangers if you have to see them in the playoffs.
Besides the conference finals.
Exactly. Yeah, if you have to see them in the first or second round, it's going to be a scary matchup. But Dallas has caught fire. Ace your Bruins cooled off, but obviously, once playoffs come around, they'll rise to the top. And then obviously Winnipeg for mainly Connor Hellebuyck and what he's going to do in this first round series.
You could easily say that 12 teams are in the hunt to win this thing. Usually it's like 3 or 4. There's 12 teams that could win this whole thing, I would say.
Yeah.
I think the 2 wildcard teams in the West, no shot. Caps, no shot. Isles, no shot. The other 12, any of them could win.
Yeah, I could see that.
Except Vancouver. Vancouver, I'm not.
That's what I was. I don't have much faith in these Canucks.
Yeah, the Canucks and Oilers are the 2 out west that I'd be like.
LA, I have no faith in LA.
No, LA and the Preds, Caps, and Isles. Those 4, I'm just writing off already. Of those 4, any of them have a chance of the series win. The Preds are the best one.
I'd say the Preds have the best chance to win a series.
Yeah. But I don't see much.
Just because of the inexperience, like they're going up
their
against,
matchup based.
All the other teams are going up against true teams that we've seen do it before.
So Saros and Sorokin aren't bad to have at the helm.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to watch though. I'm excited for these playoffs.
I never knew Saros was only 5'9".
Yeah, he's just super athletic.
He's like a little short guy.
That's why he's all over the place then, huh?
Yeah. How big's Demko?
I don't know.
Probably like average 6'1".
Nah, I'd say he's a little bit taller than that. Let's see. 6-4. Yeah, that helps, right?
Yeah, that's surprisingly one of the series I'm looking forward to, and I just hate watching games in Vancouver because they don't start till fucking 10:30.
Yeah, but no, you'll stay up late to watch some of these West Coast ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Lots of good stuff coming out of the NHL here as the playoffs start this Saturday, April 20th. I'm very excited for that. I know the boys are. But we got the NBA playoffs also starting on Saturday, but we have the play-in tournament going on now. The Lakers and the Pelicans started off our play-in tournament this year, with the Lakers taking the win by a score of 110 to 106. Lakers will now have a rematch of the 2023 Western Conference Finals as they match up against the 2 seed Denver Nuggets. And the Sacramento Kings took care of the veteran Golden State Warriors on Tuesday night in their play-in game by a score of 118 to 94. Sacramento will take on the New Orleans Pelicans for an opportunity to secure the 8th seed in the West to determine who will take on the 1 seed Thunder. What are you guys thinking about this as we're jumping into the play-in tournament? Heat and 76ers, Hawks and Bulls tonight here Wednesday as we're recording this. Kings and Pelicans, the only game decided for Friday. What do you guys think of the play-in tournament? Ace, go for it.
Yeah, Hoff, did you watch any of these games last night?
I did not.
Oh, I watched
Tonight,
that Lakers game, dude. That one got good. Zion was heating up. If he doesn't get hurt, I think they win that game. I know it's LeBron.
he's
James.
out for Friday. They already wrote him out for weeks.
He had
they
like
said.
what, over 40 points, and then he gets injured as soon as he's out. The Lakers literally controlled it. The shout out to the Pelicans. They kept it close. They kept tying things up. No Zion, no BI, right? So that's not an easy task. But those late.
I think Ingram was playing. I think he was just non-existent.
Oh well, he's on the bench late in the game, so
Oh,
yeah. I watched that fourth quarters where I tuned in, but they kept tying it up so many times in the last few minutes. A couple of bad turnovers cost them. LeBron James, they kept feeding the ball to him. LeBron had that fadeaway jumper that he missed at the end. Shout out to Anthony
yeah.
Davis, being the big man, best player on the floor. People like to shit on him for not playing often. Well, he's been playing very often this season. He's the reason where they are that they are. They're into the playoffs now. Great hit by the boys last night. We hit that on the book. That was a crazy one to watch. D'Angelo Russell had ice in his veins, cashed a clutch 3.
That was a huge story. I did see that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
I texted you right when that happened. I was like, "Oh yeah, D'Lo, there he is. He did his vintage Sally."
I knew it was a corner three as soon as you
And
said
you
that.
want to know something important? CJ McCollum did not show up at all. He had a terrible game as well. I don't think they can get anything done without Zion. I think I was the highest on these Kings all season long, and they easily handled the Warriors. I know we took the Warriors out of nostalgia. I think it was more of the mantra of we're gonna bet Curry and we're gonna bet LeBron, and at least one of them's gonna win. You have a good chance at 2.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad mindset. LeBron did his thing. I don't know how he was an underdog. Seems like a trap, but it wasn't. The Zion injury really helping it. But
It's because there was that narrative going around that everyone was like, if LeBron's smart, he doesn't want to win this game. It's like,
yeah, no, lose on
what?
purpose. Yeah, I remember that. That's stupid. He's winning. He's getting in because the Sacramento Kings are a good team. You don't want to play them. The
You
Pelicans,
don't want to play a one and done against Sacramento right
they're
now.
a good team. They're loaded. They have Sabonis and Aaron Fox. They were there last year. When they're hot, they're a really good team. They could threaten to take out some of these top teams. I know they're probably gonna draw who? It's the Nuggets claim the 1 seed, right? They're gonna draw the Nuggets in the first round.
The Thunder in the first round. The Lakers get the Nuggets.
All right, yeah, so that's even better. I think
The winner of Pelicans Kings goes to Oklahoma City.
the Kings can push the Thunder for that 1 seed. I think they can make a series of it at least. They've been there before. They have veteran. They went 7 with the Warriors. What a couple.
It'll be a 6-game series just because the Thunder are inexperienced.
And would you be surprised if the Kings beat them? I would take that. I feel like it'd be a good series.
I would be surprised. I would be surprised. I think this Thunder team is really good.
I think they could get knocked out early. I know they've already been battle tested. They went to the playoffs last year, but I'm really high on these Kings. I like what they have. They have the talent. I think they're going to roll the Pelicans and get back into the Western Conference. And then that Nuggets Lakers series, that'll be a fun one to watch too. I know that the Nuggets handled them before, but
They will not be the same way this year.
you don't think?
No. I could see a different result. I could see
The role players on the Lakers aren't good.
I know. But LeBron plays 42 minutes in the playoffs.
And Anthony Davis does too.
Yeah.
That's more important. He's the best player on their team.
Yeah.
So I don't know though. I think Jokic and them are going to handle the Lakers pretty easily.
I think it could at least go to 6.
Let's stay over here in the West. What are those other 2 series we got, Jesse? We got the 3-6 and the 4-5.
Minnesota versus Phoenix. I like Minnesota in 6 games.
Didn't we say though Phoenix is that one team that's going to scare you? You don't want them to get into the playoffs because I know they haven't put everything together, but the amount of talent they have.
I know, but that's what I mean. It's like once they all play, it's kind of like that Brooklyn. They remind me of that Brooklyn Nets team from like 3 years ago
Yeah,
when it was
with
Harden, Kyrie, and KD. It's like,
it
did they
doesn't
ever
work.
play together?
Yeah, it doesesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And this Minnesota
You're the
team,
highest
Anthony
on
Edwards,
Minnesota out of
I love
anybody
it.
I
I
know,
do
though.
like this Minnesota team.
Yeah.
I do. That's definitely who I'm rooting for out of the West. Them and the Thunder. It's gonna suck that they're gonna have to play. I love the Lakers, so all the teams I like this year in the West. But I think
Here's my
Minnesota could win
series.
this series.
Here's my series pick so far. I've got the Kings. You ready? I'm telling you, they're beating the Pelicans tomorrow night. Let's put that on the card.
All right,
The Kings
I'll
over
take
the
that as well.
Thunder. I will take the Nuggets over the Lakers, and I think it's in 5. Isn't that the same as last time? 5 gentlemen sweep, or did they?
4. They swept
They
them
did
last
sweep
year.
them, yeah. And then I do think that the Phoenix Suns. That's a tough matchup for this Wolves team. I know Anthony Edwards is transformed. They have the pieces around them. They're trying to be that playoff team. They've got more experience than they had before.
You don't like the young teams in the NBA.
I do. I'm a huge Thunder guy, but I think I like those teams here. I mean, if it wasn't the Kings, what if it was the Lakers going up against the Thunder?
I would definitely take the Lakers. They have no answer for LeBron or Anthony Davis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't know. I think the Kings will give them a run for their money at least.
They'll definitely, but I think Chet can hang with Sabonis a lot more than he can Anthony Davis.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. And LeBron, the two of them, there would be no answer. But then,
De'Aaron Fox on Shy.
What do you think in the Nuggets-Lakers series? What's your prediction there?
I think the Lakers can force 6 games, but I definitely pick the Nuggets to win the series.
4-1 Nuggets. I'm going 4-3 Kings. What do you have? You said 4-2 Thunder.
4-2 Thunder over the Kings. I'll take the Timberwolves in 7. I can see that go 7, but I do think they win that game at home in game 7.
Slim Reaper, dude. I don't know. He's gonna have a quote in the playoffs too if he wins that series. He'll be like, "Y'all thought I was gonna lose in the first round? Like what?"
I just love this. If I had to pick one team to root for in the playoffs this year
Wolves.
that I think actually has a chance, it would be the Wolves.
I don't think so. But
I'd love to see Anthony Davis in that spot, or Anthony Edwards in that
hilarious.
spot.
And then 4-5. Who do we have over there? Is it the Mavs and the Clips?
Mavs Clips, yeah.
I feel like those are the 2 most boring, underwhelming teams in the NBA that are really good. And I think that
I'm rooting for the Mavericks.
I got the Clippers, and I like the Mavericks too. That's tough, but this Clippers team has so much playoff experience, the defensive prowess, and the secondary scoring that can get it done. I like their depth more than them. But Luka Doncic is going to be the best player in the series. Can he do his thing with all that defensive style on the other side?
We saw what he did a couple years ago in the bubble against this Clippers team when he
without
hit the crazy,
James Harden.
Yeah,
without Russell Westbrook.
It's a different Clippers team, but I'm rooting for the Mavericks. I like the Clippers. I think this goes 7 games though.
Yeah.
I think both teams get theirs.
Kyrie's going to have a good series too. I think Luka will too, but I think just too many big names. I think those guys on the Clippers, this is like a lot of their last run maybe at a title. So it's like,
yeah, that's a fair statement.
Remember Harden last year for those Sixers? He showed up. It was playoff Harden for a while. He was raining threes. I think he might be. A lot of these guys, this is the type of team that saves their basketball for the playoffs. Oh, Kawhi Leonard, it's the playoffs. Come play every game now. Let's see how you truly are. So this will be a fun series too. I got the Clips in 6 here just because I think injuries are going to happen to these Mavericks. Can Doncic and Irving play the whole time? And can they bolster the workload with a tough defensive front? It'd be a good series.
What's crazy is how far we've come from 5-6 years ago, almost 10 years ago now. Geez, when every first round in the NBA playoffs was a sweep, the top seed was.
Well, it's like that in the East right now.
I don't think it's that bad, but like
we got lucky by the injured Sixers. The Sixers were the 3 seed. Do you think it would be that way?
Yeah,
I agree. But no, let's before we flip to the East. Give me your series prediction on that Dallas Clippers one. I said 4-2 Clips.
I'll take the Mavericks in 7 to win a road game 7.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun to watch.
Even though I did say at the beginning of the season I like the Clippers to go on a run for the NBA Finals this year.
And then they added James Harden.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that's a series where I could see go absolutely either way. I just really hope we get to see a game 7 between those star players. That'll be a must-see TV.
Yeah, I think this is.
I'm definitely rooting for the Magic or the Mavericks because I like Luka more.
Yeah, this will be interesting though. I like all the series in the West, honestly. And like we said, Kings Huff. I think we're gonna card that one tomorrow in the playing game.
Yeah, What are they? Is it? There has to be a line out.
You think they're going to be favorited without Zion now? Probably, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be like a 3.5-point favorite.
Which I'm fine with.
Yeah, maybe even more.
I think it could be less still, though. Isn't it in New Orleans?
It is in New Orleans.
I got it for right here. Kings -1.5.
Yeah, I like it. That's kind of sketchy, but I
Do
like
we
it.
lock that in now for the line
I
shift?
would.
You heard
It will go. It will get deeper.
you heard it here first. I'm going to text in the chat. Kings -1.5. Kings.
I'm just gonna quote tweet it or do the quote thing and say same. But all right, we'll look at some of these first round matchups. Obviously, we don't really need to say too much about your Celtics. I think
do you even
everyone
talk about
here is
that?
gonna,
Like,
they're gonna sweep. Doesn't matter who they get, unless
it's the
they
Heat.
somehow draw this. Can they somehow draw the Sixers?
It would have to be like a worst case scenario for the Sixers. But would it really? I mean, the Sixers would have to
Dude,
lose
I like.
tonight. They would have to lose
I
tonight to the
bet,
Heat. And then
I bet the Heat tonight. So I do think the Sixers lose
did you
tonight
take the Heat with the points or did you take the Heat on the money line?
with the points, but I truly think they could win the game.
Because of playoff Jimmy Butler, you saw those quotes. It's got you going. You remember how
No,
deep Spoelstra.
This is just a rivalry. Like Butler returning to Philly, I could see him want to win this game so bad.
If this was in Miami, I think they win this game. It's in Philly, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Sixers on the money line here. But I think the Heat keep it close. The Heat will definitely beat the Hawks or Bulls, whoever comes out of that one. I'm not even touching that game. I think we saw this before. It's going to be the Bulls. I'm going to go with DeMar DeRozan. He's going to be the best player on the floor, right? Yeah. So I'm
Those are the two bets I took tonight. Heat +6.5, Bulls -2.5.
yeah, and it's not too bad. I wouldn't even touch that Sixers game because they could get it. They're really not that good this year. But I think the Heat will win that second play-in game against the Bulls, or if the Hawks get it done, because they're both sub 500 teams. It could really go either way.
Yeah, I just don't love that Hawks team. I think the Bulls get it done at home.
Without Trae Young, like they only won 36 games. DeMar DeRozan, didn't we see him go off in the play-in game last year? I think I took the Bulls in their 9-10 play-in last year, and they ended up winning. But yeah, the Sixers. If watch it be Celtics Heat, and I think the Celtics will have a vengeance. They owe these Heat a little bit of a pummeling. So yeah, that series, and then going into the second one, what would the second series be there? Who's the 2 seed out in the East? Is it the Bucks?
Mackey's New York Knicks.
Oh, it's the Knicks.
Could get the Heat or the Sixers.
Imagine Sixers and Knicks in the second round, in the first round half.
I would like the Sixers.
I would take the Sixers as well. I would take the Sixers as well. Michael Mackey not here on the pod to defend himself. Not too much of a worry. He doesn't even like these Knicks too much. He's worried about the President's Cup. Not El Prez from Barstool, but El Prez, the President's Trophy, I guess. But yeah, back to what I was saying about the Knicks. I know Jalen Brunson's doing his thing. I know they're loaded up. But the 76ers would be the toughest play-in draw, I think, of all time, based off the circumstances they dealt with.
I think, I don't know. We've seen the Lakers in the play-in for the last 3 years.
But this is a better team than the Lakers. It just missed Embiid.
Yeah.
I think the Sixers are better than the Lakers. They're much deeper. They have a lot of talent. Tobias
There's
Harris,
just not
Embiid.
much. There's no talent below this in the play-in. Like, I guess you're not anticipating the Magic or the Pacers to be in one of the 1 through 6.
Yeah.
You're anticipating that to be Philly and Miami, and then the play-in be Orlando, Indianapolis, or Orlando, Indiana, Chicago, and Atlanta.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or maybe like the Hornets or the Nets. But like regardless,
this Magic team is good this year. Like but yeah, I think the Sixers could win.
Sixers
tonight.
and
That's
Knicks
why I
would
took
go
the Heat with the
7.
points.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Is that safe to say?
Sixers what?
Sixers and Knicks would go 7. And what would
Yeah.
the line do you think be for a 2-7 series? I don't think they're that heavily favored, the Knicks.
No, I think it would be very close.
I do too. That'll be something to watch because if they're sitting at above plus 120, I'm taking the Sixers to win the series. But it's a lot. This is very contingent. Watch this all change after these playing games. When you guys hear this podcast, it's posted after. But watch this all change. We got to see how that really shakes out. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this 3, 6, 4, 5 because those are locked in.
Let's see. Bucks, Pacers.
Bucks in 5.
Bucks in 5. I agree.
Is there going to be a Tyrese Halliburton game?
Maybe. I just this Pacers team. I think. They started off so hot, and then
I liked the Siakam ad. I really did.
I did too. I just think that it's not enough against Milwaukee.
You were hoping the Knicks were the 3 seed if you're the Pacers.
Yeah. The other series, obviously the 4-5, Cleveland, Orlando. Cleveland, the 4 seed, getting the home court. I'm going to go with these Magic to stick out a 7-game series. I think this could be the only chance one of these series in the East goes 7, other than Knicks, Sixers. But I do like Orlando. I like that young team, Banchero, the Wagner brothers. I think the Magic could possibly win a playoff series. I'm not huge on this Cleveland team.
Yeah, I'm not too huge on them either, but I think they're able to handle this in 6 games. They've been here. The Magic, way too new to them. They're going to be back in the play-in or low playoff seeding again in the future. I think they can get maybe a couple wins here, maybe a couple. You'll get to see that cool Instagram video when the Magic win. That young group, Bencharo and them, I'm excited to see them in years to come, but I think they're going to get handled by the Cavs this year. Cleveland getting probably the friendliest first-round matchup, in my opinion. Um, Huff,
I think the Bucks did.
you think with the Pacers? Yeah, you're really low
Yeah.
on them. I think they have guys that can take over a game though, more so. Um, but yeah, Huff, what do you think? Celtics, if they got the Sixers or the Heat, because you're probably gonna get at least one of them, right? You don't think either of those teams can pose a series? Those are two like well-known teams. Celtics fire on all
You
cylinders,
guys
though.
would beat this. You guys would beat the Sixers in 6 games, 5-6 games. Heat, I think you would sweep.
Yeah, just two storied franchises and rivalries. You'd expect
Yeah.
more, but probably not.
I think you guys would have more trouble with the Sixers just because of Embiid.
Yeah, he might get a game or two where he goes off.
Like he could have a 50.
Yeah.
I could see a 50.
An
Yeah.
Embiid game. He's an MVP caliber player. You don't think anybody in the yeah.
Literally the defending MVP.
A lot of good stuff out of the NBA though. I'm excited to watch these playoffs. The West is going to be great to see. Play-ins are always fun to watch. A lot of the teams putting their lives on the line. Sixers, we're going to lock that one in tomorrow. East, you'll know by then, and then we'll know. But whoever loses the 7-8 game will win the next playing game, in my opinion. So definitely look out for that one as well.
Alrighty, boys. Lots of good stuff here out of the NBA playoffs, also starting on Saturday. So looking forward to those. These are our last, last power rankings before the playoffs. Coming in at number 5 here, the New York Knicks, making it on the list. Number 4, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Number 3, the Denver Nuggets. Number 2, the Oklahoma City Thunder. And number 1, the Boston Celtics. Celtics with the overall favorite to win the finals at plus 165. What are you guys thinking here before the first round begins?
I'm happy I got the Celtics at a better price because you know what I kept doing all year long? Whenever I hit a good bet, I'd always throw like $5 or $10 on the Celtics or Bruins future.
What were they at like before the season?
Well, before the season?
500?
No, not that high.
400?
Yeah, I think probably around that, maybe 375.
Yeah,
because they were pretty loaded up coming into the year. When was the
then
first?
they got Holiday and Porzingis.
Yeah, the highest I have the Celtics at is in the plus 2s.
Damn.
Bruins, I got some good odds on. I got them at plus 1,400 before the season started.
Yeah, that's good. Hockey, you always get better prices in basketball.
Bruins jumped all the way down to what's the lowest I've gotten the Bruins now, plus 800. Yeah. So, yeah, but I like the Celtics there. I mean, they're still at plus money. Grab them while you can. Out west, it's a crapshoot. That's so loaded. I think you're safer with your Celtics bet. That's your safety net for everything. Go with the Celtics bet and then take a couple teams in the West because that's going to be a crapshoot. You're going to have good odds on to win just the conference, Huff. You did that with the Nuggets last year.
Yeah. I might do that. I might take. What can you get the Celtics at to win the East?
Not much higher.
Minus 190.
Jesus Christ! What is it to win the NBA Finals?
Plus 1.
Plus 165.
I might. I wanted to do just win the East. That's crazy. It's minus 190.
That's terrible. It's no value in that.
Bucks are plus 800 to win the East. The second.
I would take the Celtics and then take someone else to try to hedge it. But I actually might put money on. I think the Celtics team is really good. I just don't see the only matchup I see that they don't win is the Nuggets, and
you got to come out of the West. The West is really tough.
Exactly, the West is tough. They have a tough first round matchup. Lakers.
Alrighty, boys. The NBA playoffs are approaching here, like I said. But let's jump into some MLB here as we're fast away in that season. The only point we got here, the Atlanta Braves officially add pitcher Spencer Strider to the list of pitchers. They'll be hanging it up for the year with Tommy John surgery. Ace, you have anything more on that?
Yeah, Huff. I mean, you and I were talking about this before. We kind of feared that it was going to be Tommy John for the full season. Adds to the list of guys that keeps growing. So many guys on the table right now. I could just rattle off names for you. Not going to go do that. Just check your local fantasy thing, and you'll see all the top names with an eye on
Yeah,
next
just
to
go
'em.
to the free agent list. At least in
Yeah.
my league, it's crazy because we don't do a
But you
keeper.
know what's nice though? We've seen a lot of young arms come up that you wouldn't get to see. A lot of top pitching prospects been making their debuts this week. They're been pretty good. You got one in your own with Jared Jones jumping on the scene. Red Sox have a
Yeah,
bunch of young guys. Giolito injury kind of paving the way for that. But all these other teams, young guys jumping onto the scene and turning into great pitchers. The Cubs got a few. The White Sox are rolling out all the youngest guys. The Dodgers had one make a debut today. So I love seeing that. Obviously, don't want to see injuries. Hope some guys come back. I know we're getting Walker Buehler, Verlander, Framber Valdez, a few other guys, Pavetta maybe, some other good guys back in the coming weeks. So a lot of guys coming off that IL. But yeah, need guys to stay healthy here.
Big time, Ace. Puff,
absolutely.
anything on that?
No, I mean he just kind of killed my fantasy pitchers. Well, I took him in like the third round, so I was pretty pissed about that. But yeah, nothing you can do. I mean, Verlander comes back, so that's good for me at least. So he's supposed to make his debut Friday or Saturday. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I got him in both my leagues as well. I mean, come on, ADP so low. You got to hop on the train. But maybe the Astros will turn around. They've been terrible to start. If you have Verlander, I hope you picked up Ronald Blanco. He's been the only bright spot for the Astros to start the year. Started the year with the no hitter, and he's been riding high ever since. The rookie 30-year-old. But yeah, a lot of good stuff in the baseball world. I think we should rattle off our rankings here and then kind of talk about some of the hot stuff going on.
Yeah, rankings here. Number 5, our Pittsburgh Pirates. Number 4, the Milwaukee Brewers. Number 3, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Number 2, the Atlanta Braves. And number 1, the New York Yankees. Huff, those Pirates sticking in there for another week. What do you
They're
think?
going away.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like they're going away after getting swept by Mackey's Mets. Tough matchup there in New York. Coming next, I think, is Ace's Red Sox series in Pittsburgh this weekend. That'd be nice to get a series win, get back on the board.
We've been losing
Our
too. Don't
first,
worry.
yeah, our first series loss of the season is a sweep. That's obviously a tough one, but a road matchup with the start they had, that's fine. Just get back to it this weekend. I definitely think if they pick up some wins this week, and then we get the Brewers to start next weekend. So big 7 games coming up, or 6 games between the Red Sox and the Brewers. But Dodgers, Braves, Yankees, we said those are going to be your 3 teams most of the season. But that 4 and 5 spot switching around this week with the Brewers sliding up to 4. Pirates with a tough sweep, like I said. Brewers playing great baseball, and they're still have some injured guys in that lineup. Devin Williams not playing for
Yelly.
them. Yeah, Yelich hasn't played yet, or he's been in and out. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, so I think these standings are going to change a lot. It's April baseball. Can't take it too much. Take it with a grain of salt. You have 3 teams at the bottom here that are going to be way out of it. You have the Rockies, the Marlins, and the White Sox. They're not going to be in it. Everybody else super close. The highest one only sitting at 12-5. Are you going to sound the alarms in the Los Angeles Dodgers? All I know they're injured, a lot of stuff, but they just got shut out by the Nationals today, 2-0. They lost yesterday to the Nationals. They're not having a great run right now. Or 2 days ago, they lost to the Nats, sitting at 11-9, 12-9. They got to figure things out. I think getting Walker Buehler, eventually Clayton Kershaw, maybe Emmett Sheehan, they're getting starters back in the mix. I'll help out. But getting shut out by lowly pitchers on the Nationals is crazy to me with a star-studded lineup. Overrated? I don't think so. They'll be back. But like you said, Braves going to be there all year. Yankees and Orioles going to be right there all year too. I still think the Orioles are the best team in baseball. I mean, besides the Dodgers, best team in the American League, the Orioles are. But Braves still doing their thing. Acuna finally hitting some bombs. He hit another one today. You talked up the Cubs.
That's what's crazy is 4. Yeah, the Cubs are good too. 4 NL teams on this list.
Yeah, and the NL. I mean, it's kind of top heavy, I'd say. AL is a lot more balanced, a lot more teams in the hunt. I think the Cubs are going to end up taking that division. I don't know, though. It's going to be close throughout the year. The Brewers are really good, too. No offense to you Pirates. I think you fall off a little bit. Reds, injuries just holding them back. It's still super early. St. Louis, I think they could end up being the worst team in the division. They might be slated to be. They have the least amount of talent. But it's so close. That's going to be close throughout the season. If you're over 500 games, you might be able to win the division.
Yeah. If we can just keep winning series, I mean, 2-1, you're playing above 500 baseball. It's just
Who's the most
when you
talented
lose
team,
series,
though?
you can't get swept.
The Cubs or the Brewers?
I'd probably say the Brewers are the most talented.
Yeah, the Cubs are really good, though. Bellinger's been
I
on
personally,
fire.
like, I know I'm biased, but like, if you look at a lineup between us and the Cubs, I think the Pirates have a better lineup.
Like deeper. Yeah, I just think that star power for the Cubs is just pretty important. Pitching.
I would have loved us to get Bellinger. That would have been.
They have a lot of potential in their pitching staff too. They're getting Jameson Taillon and Justin Steele back soon. That's going to help out a lot. They have a lot of big prospects as well. But yeah, I've been watching these O's. That team's getting healthier. They still have a bunch of pitchers that are on the IL. Tyler,
And they just brought up Holiday.
yeah, he's going to go back down. He's looked a little.
Did you see the A's brought up Ruiz back? I knew I didn't cut him for.
He hit a home run too. He hit a home run today.
He's back.
And they won today. The A's starting to win some games. It's funny how I didn't mention them in the lowly list of the MLB. They're sitting at 8-11. They'll be there soon enough. Phillies coming back to life. I like them a little bit too. That team's good. They're finding their way. Padres will stick around.
Mets legit?
No, but they're sitting at 10-8 now. They're right near the top of the pack. No, you got the Phillies and the Braves ahead of you. You're not making noise.
That's the hardest. That's one of the hardest divisions of baseball.
Yeah, those two teams are so established. They're both going to be in the postseason. I think some teams that you're going to see start taking a run. I like the Rays. That's my dark horse of the year. Remember we talked about futures at the beginning of the year, and the Rays are my futures dark horse. But yeah, I like what's going on here. Not too much other to report on. It's early season baseball. Hopefully, I can get out some more games. I think you guys went to one the other day, or you were going to one soon, maybe, right?
Yeah, I was there last week.
Yeah, so I got to get out there.
I was there. I was at the home opener against what's it called, the Orioles.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Not the home opener, the second game.
We're less than 20 games into the season, though. I mean, everything you got to take with a grain of salt. I want to get a bigger sample size, get some more healthy guys in the lineup, but good stuff so far. Marcell Ozuna, guy's great. You know, he's like a top player in baseball right now, and he's batting 5th on the Braves, so that team's scary. Maybe buy the end on them early on because they're being a little bit disrespected because of all the other big teams out there.
Yeah, I'd like to get a future in on them. I love them. That's probably my favorite team that's not the Pirates right now. Just because of that lineup.
So dynamic pitcher stuff too. Missing Strider though, maybe we take that into consideration.
Yeah. They'll get someone at the deadline.
Yeah, we'll see. A lot to unfold in the baseball world.
Like you said, Ace, we're so early in this season, but lots to look forward to as we dive deeper and deeper into this year. Some news from some things happening over the weekend in the early week here. Denver beating number 1 overall seed Boston College 2-0 Saturday night to win their 10th national championship in program history in the Frozen Four. Anything on this? Did you guys take any bets on this or anything?
Oh, I did. I took everything on BC and BU. I bet against Denver as many times as I could, and it proved wrong. One thing I should have known, I was just riding high on the Eagles, and they're stacked and like what? But no team that was the first team to ever have 4 first-round picks on their team and go to the national championship, and no team that star-studded has ever won the national championship. Whenever you have that many future stars, you always lose in the national championship. So I should have known this, but that goalie for Denver, sensational run. He did it in the Frozen Four in that semifinal game against BU, and then he shut out Boston College. That's insane. The looks, the whole third period, they lived in the zone. Cutter Gauthier, prime looks, one-timers, breakaways, standing tall. Shout out to him. Shout out to Denver. That's a storied program. Addison Collins, you were right. I'll give you the kudos there. Well, I told you so from you. So, yeah, that's why Denver has so many national championships, continuously doing their thing. So, exciting to see, and we'll see a lot of these guys in the NHL. Hopefully, this college hockey keeps growing.
Absolutely. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, good games, though, for sure.
Awesome. Good stuff, Ace. And the Masters is included this past Sunday, but in what a round we had. Scotty Scheffler takes his second green jacket in the last three years at the 88th Masters tournament. Any thoughts on this? I watched. Did you guys watch?
I bet it.
I know you watched.
I bet it because if you guys hit the books. Shout out Huff right there.
I wish
plus 550. I put on that cool 50 on it. You guys said, and people kept asking. Remember when we said, "Oh, his wife's gonna be in labor. Like you gotta be worried of that." I think that only helped our line because it would have been lower.
I think I said the only way he didn't win was he got the call from his wife.
I said, you know what? He's not. His wife is not letting him do that either way. I think personally. So I think that that was a great bet. I got it at plus 550. That was a great hit. And the other lock that you gave out on the podcast off was the Tiger Woods stat, and he did make the cut.
Make the cut, yeah.
So I have a funny story about Sunday, the Masters. I was sitting in the American Airlines Club in Philadelphia, just minding my own business, watching him get his jacket put on him. And my one coworker comes up to me and he's like, I heard this one thing, like, he might be having his kid, and like the people were like weary about taking him like sports betting. I'm like, yeah, I heard that too. I'm like, but she goes into labor. Like I said this, like not loud, but like
By the time he gets there, the kid's already had him being born.
I was gonna say the kid's either gonna be born or the kid's not gonna be born for
24
X amount of hours. And I kind of said that, and she's like, "Huh?" The lady that is like at the front of the club was like, "Hey," she's like, "You better watch what you're saying." You're like, "You don't know about that," and I'm like, "Oh, sorry." Like I'm just kind of saying,
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
Like how I know you don't want to miss the birth of your child, but like
He was getting that jacket. That was a lot.
I was like, "What's going on?" Like
there definitely was a chance of it because he won it 2 years ago, but now
Right.
like he joins. I forget. I think it was Jack and Tiger, the only people with 2 players and 2 masters, 2 masters in 3 years. Like he's gonna win another major this year. I can promise you that.
So I saw a thing. He's like,
I'll bet him in every major this year.
he has. Hold on.
I was gonna bet him this weekend to win the RBC. He's only plus 400 this weekend to win the RBC Heritage. Ace, if you're looking for another sprinkle, but that kid still hasn't been born yet, so now there's an even more of a chance it comes. And he will leave this tournament to go there.
Yeah, so take him not to win this.
What is it, Huff? What can he not play in the next like 3 or 4 years?
Who?
Or 2 or 3 years? Scotty?
I don't know.
Isn't there like a thing if you win? Like I don't think he'll be at the Open in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, well, it's a U.S. Open. That's a major. He'll be there. Like the live guys will be there too.
I read something. I'm trying to find it.
I mean, he's gonna win the FedEx Cup again too. Like he's the best golfer in the world. Like he's unreal. He's the best thing we've seen since Tiger in his prime, and he's not that close to Tiger. Is like I'm not saying like discounting him. Like the amount of Tiger Woods videos I've watched, and Scotty's good, but he needs to win another major other than a Masters before we get on that level. He'll win the PGA or something this year. He's definitely like I said, Ace. If you want to know my pick for every single tournament, I'll probably just take him every major. I think he guaranteed gets another major this year. And if he's plus 400 for every one, I think you win at least. If you took him to win the Masters, you're already up off that. So,
Alrighty, I can't find this, but if I do, I'll send it to you guys.
Yeah.
It confused me. I'm surprised I didn't.
Send it to me if you find it.
Alrighty, I think that's all we got here this week, boys. Anything else to add before we get out of here?
I think that is it.
Playoff hockey. Playoff.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It starts what, Saturday?
My favorite time of the year right here. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, heating up, MLB, day baseball. Sports all day.
Yeah.
Come on.
NHL, NBA playoffs getting started this weekend. Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend of sports for sure.
Huff, I just sent it to you. He's already exempt.
From what?
I don't know. Oh, that means he's already in. Ugh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Exempt is a very odd word. That is, I don't think that's a good word to be putting
he could lose every tournament leading up to these events, and he's invited to all these events.
Right. That's a weird word. Exempt means not there.
It should be like auto invite.
Yeah. Okay. Because that confused the shit out of me. I was like,
it literally
what?
says Oakmont 2025.
Yep. Yeah, I was like, oh, what? All right. Sorry. My bad. Alrighty, boys. That's it.
All right.
See you guys.
That's the end of it.
Good.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.